Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A social or business relationship. He was sorry he had to sever his ties with other members of the team. A fastener that serves to join or connect. Finish a game with an equal number of points, goals, etc. The teams drew a tie. Create social or emotional ties. One of the cross braces that support the rails on a railway track. The British call a railroad tie a sleeper. A horizontal beam used to prevent two other structural members from spreading apart or separating. He nailed the rafters together with a tie beam. Fasten or secure with a rope, string, or cord. They tied their victim to the chair. The finish of a contest in which the score is tied and the winner is undecided. Their record was 3 wins, 6 losses and a tie. Connect, fasten, or put together 2 or more pieces. Neckwear consisting of a long narrow piece of material worn, mostly by men, under a collar and tied in knot at the front. He stood in front of the mirror tightening his necktie. Perform a marriage ceremony. A cord, or string or ribbon or wire etc., with which something is tied. He needed a tie for the packages. Equality of score in a contest. Form a knot or bow in. Tie a necktie. Limit or restrict to. I am tied to eunuchs. Make by tying pieces together. The fishermen tied their flies. Music, a slur over 2 notes of the same pitch, indicates that the note is to be sustained for their combined time value. Unite musical notes by a tie. A social or business relationship. A valuable financial affiliation. The act of becoming formally connected or joined. Welcome the affiliation of the research center with the university. A social or business relationship. Many close associations with England. The process of bringing ideas or events together in memory or imagination. Conditioning as a form of learning by association. A formal organization of people or groups of people. A relation resulting from interaction or dependence. Flints were found in association with the prehistoric remains of the bear. Chemistry. Any process of combination, especially in solution, that depends on relatively weak chemical bonding. Ecology. A group of organisms, plants and animals, that live together in a certain geographical region and constitute a community with a few dominant species. The act of consorting with or joining with others. You cannot be convicted of criminal guilt by association. The state of being connected together as in memory or imagination. His association of his father with being beaten was too strong to break. A social or business relationship. An interruption of normal activity. A two-way radio communication system, usually microwave, part of a more extensive telecommunication network. A fastener that serves to join or connect. The walls are held together with metal links placed in the wet mortar during construction. Make a logical or causal connection. Be or become joined or united or linked. The travelers linked up again at the airport. An interconnecting circuit between 2 or more locations for the purpose of transmitting and receiving data. Link with or as with a yoke. The means of connection between things linked in series. The state of being connected. A connecting shape. A channel for communication between groups. Connect, fasten, or put together two or more pieces. A unit of length equal to 1/100th of a chain. Computing. An instruction that connects one part of a program or an element on a list to another program or list. A fastener that serves to join or connect. A fastener that serves to join or connect. Thread on or as if on a string. Poker, in which a player can discard cards and receive substitutes from the dealer. He played only draw and stud. Remove the entrails of. Draw a chicken. Suck in or take air. Draw a deep breath. Pull. A person, apart with 4 horses tied to his extremities, so as to execute him. In the old days, people were drawn and quartered for certain crimes. Give a description of. Anything, straws or pebbles, etc. Taken or chosen at random. The luck of the draw. Finish a game with an equal number of points, goals, etc. Make a mark or lines on a surface. Draw a line. Get or derive. Pass over, across, or through. An entertainer who attracts large audiences. He was the biggest drawing card they had. Direct toward itself or oneself by means of some psychological power or physical attributes. A golf shot that curves to the left for a right-handed golfer. Bring, take, or pull out of a container or from under a cover. Draw a weapon. Earn or achieve a base by being walked by the pitcher. Make, formulate, or derive in the mind. I draw a line here. The finish of a contest in which the score is tied and the winner is undecided. The game ended in a draw. Take in, also metaphorically. Stretch back a bowstring, on an archer's bow. The archers were drawing their bows. The act of drawing or hauling something. American football. The quarterback moves back as if to pass and then hands the ball to the fullback who is running toward the line of scrimmage. Choose at random. Draw a card. Remove, a commodity, from, a supply source. Cause to move in a certain direction by exerting a force upon, either physically or in an abstract sense. Cause to move by pulling. Draw a wagon. Take liquid out of a container or well. A gully that is shallower than a ravine. Allow a draft. This chimney draws very well. A playing card or cards dealt or taken from the pack. He got a pair of kings in the draw. Bring or lead someone to a certain action or condition. She was drawn to despair. Cause to flow. Cause to localize at one point. Contract. Elicit responses, such as objections, criticism, applause, etc. Engage in drawing. He spent the day drawing in the garden. Flatten, stretch, or mold metal or glass, by rolling or by pulling it through a die or by stretching. Draw steel. Move or go steadily or gradually. Move or pull so as to cover or uncover something. Draw the shades. Reduce the diameter of a wire or metal rod by pulling it through a die. Draw wire. Represent by making a drawing of, as with a pencil, chalk, etc. on a surface. Require a specified depth for floating. This boat draws 70 inches. Select or take in from a given group or region. The participants in the experiment were drawn from a representative population. Steep. Pass through a strainer. Draw pulp from the fruit. Write a legal document or paper. The deed was drawn in the lawyer's office. Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. Create social or emotional ties. Be attached. Be in contact with. Become attached. The spider's thread attached to the window sill. Cause to be attached. Stick to firmly. Create social or emotional ties. Fasten or secure with a rope, string, or cord. Cause to be constipated. Bind by an obligation. Cause to be indebted. Wrap around with something so as to cover or enclose. Secure with or as if with ropes. Form a chemical bond with. The hydrogen binds the oxygen. Make fast. Tie or secure, with or as if with a rope. The Chinese would bind the feet of their women. Provide with a binding. Bind the books in leather. Something that hinders as if with bonds. Stick to firmly. Criminal law. Money that must be forfeited by the bondsman if an accused person fails to appear in court for trial. A $10,000 bond was furnished by an alderman. A certificate of debt, usually interest-bearing or discounted, that is issued by a government or corporation in order to raise money. The issuer is required to pay a fixed sum annually until maturity and then a fixed sum to repay the principal. A superior quality of strong durable white writing paper, originally made for printing documents. Create social or emotional ties. The grandparents want to bond with the child. A restraint that confines or restricts freedom, especially something used to tie down or restrain a prisoner. Bring together in a common cause or emotion. The property of sticking together, as of glue and wood, or the joining of surfaces of different composition. A connection based on kinship or marriage or common interest. Their friendship constitutes a powerful bond between them. United States civil rights leader who was elected to the legislature in Georgia but was barred from taking his seat because he opposed the Vietnam War, born 1940. British secret operative 007 in novels by Ian Fleming. A connection that fastens things together. An electrical force linking atoms. Issue bonds on. One of the cross braces that support the rails on a railway track. One of the cross braces that support the rails on a railway track. The British call a railroad tie a sleeper. A rester who is sleeping. One of the cross braces that support the rails on a railway track. The British call a railroad tie a sleeper. Tropical fish that resembles a goby and rests quietly on the bottom in shallow water. A passenger car that has berths for sleeping. An unexpected achiever of success. The winner was a true sleeper. No one expected him to get it. An unexpected hit. That movie was the sleeper of the summer. A piece of furniture that can be opened up into a bed. A spy or saboteur or terrorist planted in an enemy country who lives there as a law-abiding citizen until activated by a prearranged signal. Pajamas with feet, worn by children. A horizontal beam used to prevent two other structural members from spreading apart or separating. He nailed the rafters together with a tie beam. The act of repulsing or repelling an attack. A successful defensive stand. The finish of a contest in which the score is tied and the winner is undecided. Make a logical or causal connection. I cannot connect these two pieces of evidence in my mind. Be or become joined or united or linked. The two streets connect to become a highway. Plug into an outlet. Establish communication with someone. Did you finally connect with your long-lost cousin? Connect, fasten, or put together two or more pieces. Can you connect the two loudspeakers? Be scheduled so as to provide continuing service, as in transportation. The local train does not connect with the Amtrak train. Establish a rapport or relationship. The president of this university really connects with the faculty. Hit or play a ball successfully. The batter connected for a home run. Join by means of communication equipment. The telephone company finally put in lines to connect the towns in this area. Join for the purpose of communication. Operator, could you connect me to the Raffles in Singapore? Land on or hit solidly. The brick connected on her head, knocking her out. Make a logical or causal connection. Be or become joined or united or linked. Connect, fasten, or put together two or more pieces. Neckwear consisting of a long narrow piece of material worn, mostly by men, under a collar and tied in knot at the front. He stood in front of the mirror tightening his necktie. Take in marriage. Perform a marriage ceremony. Joint made by overlapping two ends and joining them together. A junction where two things, as paper or film or magnetic tape, have been joined together. The break was due to an imperfect splice. Perform a marriage ceremony. The couple got spliced on Hawaii. Join by interweaving strands. Join the ends of. Splice film. Join together so as to form new genetic combinations. Splice genes. Take in marriage. The fourth day of the week, the third working day. Having been taken in marriage. Perform a marriage ceremony. We were wed the following week. Secure in or as if in a berth or dock. Tie up the boat. Finish the last row. Secure with or as if with ropes. Tie up the old newspapers and bring them to the recycling shed. Invest so as to make unavailable for other purposes. Restrain from moving or operating normally. Secure with or as if with ropes. Tie down the prisoners. Restrain from independence by an obligation. Anthropology, relatedness or connection by blood or marriage or adoption. A relation between people. Relationship is often used where relation would serve, as in, the relationship between inflation and unemployment, but the preferred usage of relationship is for human relations or states of relatedness. The relationship between mothers and their children. A state involving mutual dealings between people or parties or countries. A state of connectedness between people, especially an emotional connection. He didn't want his wife to know of the relationship. Restraint that attaches to something or holds something in place. Histology, the preservation and hardening of a tissue sample to retain as nearly as possible the same relations they had in the living body. The act of putting something in working order again. The sterilization of an animal. Restraint that attaches to something or holds something in place. Restraint that attaches to something or holds something in place. A person who fastens or makes fast. He found the door fastened and wondered who the fastener was. Restraint that attaches to something or holds something in place. The act of fastening things together. A person who is of equal standing with another in a group. Set into opposition or rivalry. Let them match their best athletes against ours. Be equal to in quality or ability. Her persistence and ambition only matches that of her parents. Lighter, consisting of a thin piece of wood or cardboard tipped with combustible chemical, ignites with friction. He always carries matches to light his pipe. Make correspond or harmonize. A pair of people who live together. Make equal, uniform, corresponding, or matching. The company matched the discount policy of its competitors. Bring two objects, ideas, or people together. Matchmaker, can you match my daughter with a nice young man? A person regarded as a good matrimonial prospect. An exact duplicate. When a match is found, an entry is made in the notebook. Be compatible, similar or consistent, coincide in their characteristics. The suspect's fingerprints don't match those on the gun. A burning piece of wood or cardboard. If you drop a match in there, the whole place will explode. A formal contest in which two or more persons or teams compete. Be equal or harmonize. The two pieces match. Give or join in marriage. Provide funds complementary to. The company matched the employees' contributions. Something that resembles or harmonizes with. That tie makes a good match with your jacket. The score needed to win a match. Compensate. Make the score equal. Make equal, uniform, corresponding, or matching.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.